What's up, guys? All right, so we're going to do another lesson. We're going to go over lesson 35 today, which is probably another review for you. It's adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing decimal numbers, okay? So I'm sure you've seen that there are 10 examples, and no, I will not go through all of them because I know how much you guys like getting to your homework, okay? So we are just going to start. Remember, when we are adding and subtracting decimals, we need to make sure that we line up our decimal point, okay? So that means that if we have a decimal point, all decimal points are right underneath it. And then if we have more numbers on one side, we just fill in it with zeros just so everything is aligned and make sure that everything is kind of organized so we don't mess anything up. Okay, so we're going to look at example 1. And example 1 says we need to add 3.6, 0.36, and 36, okay? So we see that 36 does not have a decimal point, okay? But then the other two do. But if a number does not have a decimal point, it means it is just imaginary right behind it, okay? So we need to line all of these up. So we're going to line up 3.6 plus 0.36 plus 36. Okay, so as you can see, I lined up all of my decimal points just right down. Yes, they were kind of crooked, but that's okay. But I have all of my numbers lined up. I added zeros in where they needed to be. I put a 0 on the 3.6, and down by the 36, I also put 2 zeros in because 0.36 has 2 places, okay? So now we can just go ahead and add them all together. So we're just going to go down. 6 plus 3 is 9, another 9, and 3. So as you can see, my decimal point comes all the way down. Just like I was adding, I moved everything down, moved my decimal down as well. So making sure it's aligned is good because that's going to put it in the right place. So the final answer is going to be 39.96. Okay, make sure you have that decimal point. If you don't, it looks like 3,996. So make sure you have that decimal point. Now we'll go on to example 2. Example 2 wants us to find the perimeter of this rectangle. So everybody can see that the length is 0.3 meters, the width is 0.2. So to find the perimeter, we have to add all of it up together. So we know that if one side is 0.3, that means the opposite side is going to be 0.3. Same thing with 0.2 and 0.2. So we're going to have to add all of these together. So first we need to line up our decimal points, which should be easier this time because they all have just 2 places, 0.3, 0.3, 0.2, and 0.2. Okay, so if I add up, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus another 2 is 10. So I'm going to put my 0, carry my 1. 1 plus 0, 0, 0 is all 0. And then, so if we look at the rectangle, my final answer is going to be 1.0, but they give us a label, which is meters. So that whole rectangle, the perimeter is going to be 1.0 meters, okay? So I know that 1.0 also means 1. You can write it just as 1, or you can put 1.0 and I will still count it, okay? All right, and then let's go on. Let's do example 3. So example 3 says, subtract 12.3 minus 4.56. So we have 12.3 minus 4.567. Okay. As you can notice, the 4.56 has 2 more place values in it. So if it has more place values on this side than on this one, we need to add zeros over here. So it's going to read 12.300 just so we can make sure that everything is lined up with our 6 and our 7. So it is going to look something like this. So we're going to do 12.300 minus 4.567. Okay, so this is how we're going to set it up. See how my zeros are down and they're lined